Hey guys, hope you're doing very well. In today's video I'm going to finally talk about a situation. It's been one of those things where I've been sitting on it and I've been thinking, do I actually want to talk about this? Do I just want to like brush it under the rug, pretend it never happened? Or do I want to address it? So I've sat on it for a while now. It might come across pointless or unnecessary to talk about it, but I just want to I have the right to talk about it. I don't know. But what happened basically, like long story short, is in February, I wrote down notes to make sure I don't misspeak, but on February the 17th this year I made a tattoo etiquette video. It was my last tattoo etiquette video, but I made it about a creator called Blake Homie, and what I talked about in that video was basically me saying that they were doing unsanitary tattooing. They were tattooing on a carpet, and that, you know, they were tattooing with an embroidery needle and just doing unsafe, unsanitary things when it comes to tattooing. It's just stuff you shouldn't do. The first lot of comments that I got from that video were obviously from my normal usual subscribers that were like, oh, we totally get where you're coming from, what you're saying here is absolutely right, we totally agree, etc. Because those are the regular people that watch my videos. They know my MO, they know what I'm about, they know me better than, say, someone that just watches that video, so to say. But then people that don't watch me regularly started to come across that video, which obviously does happen sometimes. You know, it's YouTube, that's what it's about. They kind of started picking out points that I had made, and I started to get more backlash over it. And then obviously Blake Homie did a reaction video, and then more comments started coming. And I was like, oh my god, like, do I talk about it? But then I was like, no, Lauren, just chill out, calm down, just let it all kind of settle and then get the overall picture after a while. And then it did kind of settle down, and then another creator named D'Angio, oh my pronunciation of people's names and stuff is so bad, but he made a video talking about the situation, and then I was like, oh my god. And then that's when stuff really popped off, like really popped off for me, and I was getting comments daily, messages, all sorts. I was being called all the names under the sun. I took the comments off of my actual Blake Homie video because I was being told to kill myself and that I should die, and that's my limit with every video comment. I have my comments on every single video apart from two. One was the Simply Nessa video, my first ever tattoo etiquette video, because I had loads of people coming at me telling me I should die and kill myself, so I was like, no, nobody should have to read that over and over and over again. So I turned the comments off of that, and then I ended up having to turn the comments off of this Blake Homie video because I was getting the exact same thing. I was just like, what I said does not warrant that. No matter, like, nothing warrants that kind of comments at all. The backlash that I did get, I honestly, looking back now, and to be honest, I've been sitting on this for a while, they were very much warranted. The stuff, you know, what I was called out for, which was, you know, accusing someone of substance abuse and then saying that a parent was stupid. It was warranted, I deserved it, I'm fine with it. And I have addressed this a few times. I addressed it on Twitter, I've addressed it on Instagram, I commented on D'Angelo's video and stuff. So I have talked about it here and there, but I've not made a big fuss about it or anything. And then I mentioned it in a video that I somewhat recently uploaded, which was the one about Jenna Marbles, when she decided to take a step back from YouTube, and I like talked about this situation in then, and I said like I was stupid, I should have done it, blah blah blah. But I'm still getting the same comments, still getting the same messages, still getting death threats, and I'm just like, for fuck's sake. So I've clearly just got to sit here and talk about it, and then if someone, you know, decides to come up all in my grill, I can just link them to this video instead of linking them to a video that has nothing really to do about it. But yeah, let's talk about the few things that I was called out on. Again, I might be repeating myself here and there in this video, I'm trying not to, but the first one was me saying that Blake's mum was stupid. It's obviously not my place to say that, and at the end of the day it's none of my business, but I will be talking about this moment later on in this video, because there's some things like overlap and stuff, and I'm trying not to like say the same things over and over again, but I will address that moment in a moment. The other thing that I said is that Blake could possibly be using substances. I didn't say what, I didn't say how harsh or anything, it could have been anything. Again, that's none of my business. I shouldn't have said that, especially to a minor or about a minor, and it was completely out of line. again, I don't know why I thought it was okay at that moment in time. I cannot pinpoint it. I cannot give you a reason. The only logical reason I can think of is that where I grew up, or where I'm from, or whatever, when someone can't remember something or something significant, it is normally down to alcohol or other kind of substances, whatever. And that was my first thought, because I have also very bad memory issues, like terrible. I don't remember, you know, the everyday stuff, like I couldn't tell you what I had for dinner last week, or there's a few black spots in my whole life where I just don't remember things, or stuff's hazy. So I don't know why I didn't think that that could be possible for Blake. I don't know why that didn't come to my brain. And yeah, I remember every single tattoo I've ever got. That's one thing I do remember. So I guess that completely slipped my mind. I was like, well, if I can remember every tattoo I've just realised I've got foundation on the back of my hand. I guess at the time of making that video, I was like, well, if I can remember every single tattoo and piercing I've ever got, and I have memory problems, then why can't they? Like, why can't Blake remember this? That was, yeah, stupid, idiot, I know. One thing is the same for me doesn't mean it's the same for everybody else, and that's something I have definitely learned and taken into account, you know, moving forward within my life. Like, that was a big lesson for me to learn. That whole thing I am deeply sorry for. There's nothing I can do or say that will take it back or rectify what I've done, but I will hold my hands up and say, yes, I did it, yes, it was wrong, I know I'm stupid. I understand if people don't like me anymore because of it, or I understand that people think I'm an arsehole because of it. I totally understand. There's a few things that I do stand by still though. I'm doing what D'Angelo did in one of his videos, his apology video, where he was kind of like, yeah, I apologise for this, but there's still things that I'm not taking back, and that is I don't apologise for calling Blake out for tattooing on a carpet using an embroidery needle. I don't ever want to say that fucking word again. I don't take that back. I still think that is just irresponsible. That's just what my whole channel is about. My whole channel is sitting down, talking to people, advising them on the best ways to get tattooed, getting the best experience from being tattooed, and being safe and being sanitary, and making sure, you know, like, your body is so precious. You shouldn't have to put it through the worst to get a tattoo. And I also still stand by the fact that I believe that younger people, minors, shouldn't have extremely visible tattoos. I still stand by that. I'm pretty old school in my sort of tattoo ways. I know a lot of tattoo artists and what have you are kind of moving forward, and they're like, well, you know what, if you want a hand tattoo and you don't have that many tattoos anyway, it's fine, we'll just do it. But there are a lot of tattoo artists out there, and including myself, that believes that you should have a lot more tattoos on your arms and your legs before you start on your hands and your neck, face, or what have you. That's just the way I am. I believe it's not, people say it's like earning the visible tattoos. I don't believe in that. Like, I don't believe you should be covered like from chest to ankle before you get hands, neck, face. I don't believe in that, but I just believe that you should think about it a lot, and then, you know, you can move on to your hands and your neck and your face or whatever. I just feel like it's the better way of going about things. But again, times are changing, maybe I should change, I don't know. But yeah, I did watch Blake's reaction video, and I thought that they were super sweet, super respectful. They handled it really, really well, especially what I was kind of throwing at them unintentionally. Again, didn't realise how bad it was until people said how bad it was. I feel bad because they do seem super sweet and lovely. And okay, let's talk about the D'Angelo Wallace videos. I know there's two. We'll talk about the first one first that he uploaded, and then we'll talk about the second one. This was sent to me obviously a few times, and I ended up watching it, and that's when stuff really escalated, and I was kind of like, oh my god, what is going on? Like, I'm getting all these messages, and I watched the video, and some of it I was just like, ooh, ow, okay. I mean, it's a taste of my own medicine. I deserved it. For the most part. Some of it didn't sit right with me, and I was just like, okay, that's just like a bit too far. But then what I said was probably a bit too far, so it was like tit for tat, I don't know. The first thing that didn't sit right with me with the D'Angelo video was the ageism.
That Lauren was in her mid to late 20s? No. That would have been preferable. According to this birthday video right here, 30 tattoo things I learned in 30 years. Yeah, that's right. Lauren is 30. She's 30.
And I've never been like offended by stuff ever. Like, I honestly am super carefree. I don't get offended. You can say pretty much anything you want. But as you guys know, I have mentioned a lot of times about the fact that I've turned 30, and it's not something like, nobody wants to get old. And like, when someone's like saying you're 30, it kind of just validates like, oh god, I'm so old, and like, oh, I shouldn't have a voice anymore, or I shouldn't be doing what I'm doing anymore, like what I'm saying is invalid now because I am 30. So when that point was put up so many times, I was like, oh god, maybe I should just like walk away from the internet, retire, and never come back. Like I don't deserve my platform anymore because I'm 30. And it just felt kind of in the chest, you know. I was like, oh god, okay, like, you know, it's not that I'm insecure about being 30, it's like I am just a big child at heart, and then having someone throw your age and making you like think about the fact that you're 30 is just like, oh okay, I know I'm 30, I get it. But I know why he was saying that I was 30. He was kind of saying like, you're 30 and then you're talking about a minor, like what is wrong with you? Like I get why he was saying it, but it was the emphasis multiple times about the fact that I was 30. I was just like, oh okay. I get it. Okay, this clip, oh, my mum would have fucking kicked me off the planet.
But the thing is, like, you do look like that. That's really confusing that you find the issue with it. Now, obviously, I do understand that she's saying if she looked like it when she was Blake's age, that would have been a little different. But again, that's such like a boomer mentality where it's like, well, my mom would have never let me do this. Yeah, that's probably why you have 30,000 tattoos on you now, because your mom didn't let you do so much as put a sticker on when you were like 12.
Was probably one of the worst things that I had to watch with this, talking about like, oh, I wasn't allowed stuff as a kid or whatever. I've mentioned in loads of my videos that I was that kid that was covered in temporary tattoos all the time. I was never not allowed to do anything as a kid. Well, obviously within reason, like, you know, there was things I weren't allowed to do like every other kid. But like I was allowed to express myself with temporary tattoos, and I'd have that hair mascara stuff because my hair was naturally blonde. And for the tattoo side of things that you mentioned, I've been getting tattooed for like 12ish years, and I only started getting sort of somewhat heavily tattooed or more visibly tattooed in the past 5 years. And my mum passed away 6 years ago, so yeah, she's not really seen me heavily tattooed. So that statement that he made was kind of sucky, because I was just like, you kind of, like I did, so I deserved it, but like I did, he talked about something he didn't have any knowledge of. He kind of just assumed, which I did, so I guess I deserved it. But again, it wasn't fun to watch. But again, I was getting my karma. And then the weird thing is, he said this afterwards.
You can't talk about people that you have never seen. And the bottom line is, you never know what's going on in somebody's heart. Which
made no sense to me at all, because, yeah, he kind of did what he said you shouldn't do. So I was like, okay, whatever. Okay, let's talk about the hand tattoo situation.
You have very visible hand oh my god, where do I go from here? She even mentions that she herself has hand tattoos, so it's like, how are you not picking up the irony?
I got full hand tattoos. Okay, let me get rid of that. That's just okay. I promise you that this tattoo isn't busted. It's foundation on the back of my hand, but whatever. I have obviously full hand tattoos right here, right there. Yep, they're pretty big, they're pretty serious. I got those when I was 29. I'm now obviously 30, so I've had this one for over a year. I got it in March 2019, and then I got this in October 2019. So this one isn't even a year old yet. So obviously I'm an adult, 29. I went to a studio, etc. So I didn't get them in my mid to late 20s. Well, I did, 29, but I didn't get them in my mid 20s like he has assumed. And me getting full hand tattoos, again, if you've been a subscriber for a while, you know that I had debated about doing this for years. This video is dating back ages ago from when I would put temporary tattoos on my hand, and I've mentioned it in passing throughout videos here and there for at least 2, 3, 4 years. So this isn't something that I did lightly. I really did sit on it, and I thought about it, and I thought about not the complications, but the downsides of getting hand tattoos and being visibly tattooed. I'd sat on it for ages. Another thing that D'Angelo had said a few times was that I was projecting, and I can understand why he would say that. He did give good evidence as to why he thought I was projecting or could be projecting, but it's not the case. You can take his word for it, you can take my word for it. It's totally up to you. That you know, that's up to you. But I can say from obviously my point of view, who the person is we're talking about, which is me, I wasn't projecting in any way, shape or form.
Like, is it Blake's fault that you look like a coloring book and you regretted it? I don't think so.
Also, the coloring book thing, I know it was a joke, but tattooed people get this a lot from people that aren't tattooed, or from boomers. And he called me a boomer a few times, but then he makes this joke and I'm just like, you just made the biggest boomer joke. I've been called a colouring book so many times from older people. It's not younger people, it's always the older people that are like, you look like a colouring book, why do you want to be a colouring book? Oh my god, like your skin's a mess kind of thing. Yeah, it's funny, it's a joke, but when you've heard it so many times, it's not that funny. No, I don't know, maybe I'm taking that too seriously. Again, I can take a joke. I am literally I shouldn't have to, saying this always makes it look like you're not, but I swear I am the most chilled out, carefree person. I'm so laid back. And I don't take stuff seriously, but when you hear the same thing over and over again, it's just like, I get it, I'm a colouring book. D'Angelo also said the reason why I did my video is because of bitterness.
It's bitterness. Look how we started off talking about safe tattoo practices, and now fast forward and Blake is kind of being blamed by proxy for Lauren's awful tattoo decisions. The lack of emotional intelligence here is just, it's not doing it for me.
Again, not the reason, not the case. Again, you can take his word for it, you can take my word for it, it's up to you. I have absolutely no reason to be bitter at all. Not one. I'm so grateful of my tattoo journey, and yeah, I spent a lot of money rectifying the mistakes I made when I was younger, but if I hadn't have gone through all of that, I wouldn't have my channel today. I wouldn't, because I built my channel off of giving people advice on how to get a good tattoo, how to not make the same mistakes as I had. And if I hadn't rushed ahead and got crappy tattoos when I was younger and didn't know any better and what have you, I wouldn't be doing this right now. So I am grateful of my tattoo story, and I'm sure some of you can relate to that. I'm sure some of you have been on a journey with your tattooing, whether you're a tattoo artist or you're just, you know, a tattoo fanatic or whatever. It's all a learning curve, and I'm glad that I went through all of that, because I know from messages and comments I've got that I've helped, you know, a nice handful of people with my videos. I don't regret anything that I've ever gone through when it comes to my tattoo story, journey, whatever. I don't regret any of my tattoos. I've always said that. I have never regretted a tattoo. Yes, I've covered them up, but that's because I wanted something better there. I've never once regretted a tattoo, and you can go through all my videos. I've never once said I regretted it. I even have this turnip curse situation going on here, and this turnip tattoo that is just not great, but I don't regret it because it's a funny story, and that's what tattoos are. They're personal, and I could go into it. I'm not gonna bore you. There was other things that he said as well that made me go a bit like, but I don't want to deep dive into all of that and become petty and whatever. I hope this video doesn't come across as petty. I'm just kind of addressing and talking about stuff from my side of things. Okay, let's talk about his apology video. He didn't have to do that. He didn't owe me an apology. I personally believe he didn't owe me an apology. I didn't want one. I'm grateful for it, don't get me twisted. I'm grateful that he did it. It's very sweet of him to do that. I believe he didn't have to, but if he felt the need to, and I think people are just giving him comments and stuff and telling him how it is, because I'm pretty sure in his first video actually he said that he hasn't got any piercings or tattoos. So when people with no tattoos and piercings talk about stuff and they get things wrong, there's a lot of people that are like, wait, whoa, no, you're wrong. And I guess he wanted to address that, and he did address a few things like that. But yeah, he in my opinion, he didn't owe me one. What he said for the most part was valid. Yes, there's a few things that made me go, ooh. But most of the things he did say was him just saying what I said about Blake, but back to me. I deserved it. Like I said, I definitely deserved it. So he talked about evidence and stuff. So I'll put the clip in here.
Danielle Cohn, in my opinion, was a similar premise to her video about Blake. In that video, I was going off of video evidence that I showed in the video of Danny's mom, you know, pressuring her into making out with her boyfriend, or like pressuring her into showing off her bikini, even though she's only like 13. That's on camera. So I was well within my right to say, hey, this is happening. We don't have video evidence of Blake's mom, I guess, acting weird or exhibiting borderline stupidity.
He used an example video that he had done about Danielle, it's Danielle, isn't it? Danielle Cohn. He said that there's evidence everywhere in all her videos about how her parents or her mum mistreats her and forces her to do stuff for views, and that I didn't have any proof of Blake's mum being complicit. What I was saying was assumptions, but there are videos, I'll put up screenshots here. I'm not going to put the footage in here because it's to do with piercings, and me personally, I can't watch piercing videos. It makes me queasy. Even though I have piercings, I know it don't make sense, whatever. But there was a video of Blake's mum, it's still up, of Blake's mum piercing Blake's nose, and it was uploaded in 2017, which would make Blake either 13 or 14 at the time. There's also a video of Blake piercing their mum's ears in 2018. I'm not going to go into it, we're not going to talk about it. Just do with that information what you will, but there was evidence. I didn't put it in my video because I didn't want to drag it out. Like, my videos are always long. This video is going to be really long, but I didn't put it in the video. But there is proof and evidence out there of that. Again, do that information what you will. I'm going to move past it. He then talked about the hand tattoo issue in his apology video.
If Lauren had explained about, you know, the above the collar, below the cuff policy, then I would kind of understand. Just like I did when I read the comments. I'm like, oh, so that's why it's a big deal. But all I was seeing was some lady with hand tattoos calling out some kid with hand tattoos. To me, that just was reading as hypocrisy. But no, really, it's about tattoo etiquette. I wish that the tattoo etiquette had been better explained.
What he's saying does make sense, and I always make my videos as if, you know, it's just my regular viewers coming back and watching, which is probably a bad thing. So obviously my regular viewers have seen my videos where I talk about, you know, how visible tattoos are quite a big deal, and obviously D'Angelo said that he wished I had mentioned that in the video, because I didn't, because again I thought my regular viewers would just be watching this and they know my MO and stuff. And because one of my main constructive criticisms is where I repeat myself. I've probably done it in this video, I do it in every video, and I say the same things kind of over and over again across videos. So I always try and keep that in mind. I don't want to be sitting there saying, oh, the reason why you shouldn't have hand or visible tattoos when you're younger is this and the reasons, and you know what I've kind of stated in this video and other videos and whatever, right? We all know why now, because D'Angelo had mentioned it in his video. After getting that criticism from D'Angelo, moving forward I will definitely make sure that I do that in future videos. I guess people that watch me regularly will probably get tired of me saying the same things over and over again, but I guess for newer viewers it makes more sense, so they don't have to look back at all my videos or Google or anything, because yeah, at the end of the day my channel is pretty much about information and advice. And I guess I need to, the sun is doing something weird right now, I'm sorry, my face is going pink. But yeah, I totally understand what he was saying, that he wished he knew what I was getting at in my video that I made about Blake.
The way I just immediately went to projection, again, to assume that she's just projecting would be to assume that she's not coming from a place of concern, which, as I established earlier, isn't right.
I hope I never have to hear the word place of concern ever again. I'm so sick of that sentence, it's unbelievable. Like, that has been thrown back in my face so many times, and again, I deserve it. Oh my god, I'm so tired of hearing place of concern and embroidery needle and carpet. What D'Angelo is saying here is that we never know anyone's real intentions or true intentions. Never. The only person that knows the true intentions is the person that's doing whatever. I guess you just have to take people's word for it, and if you don't want to, you have every right to, and if you do, you have every right to as well, obviously. Again, I will repeat myself and say that I was definitely not projecting. I have no reason to. I truly do care about tattooing, body modifications, making sure people are safe and getting the best possible experience of all time. And I hope that kind of comes across with the videos that I do make or have made in the past. I hope that people out there can see what I'm trying to do. I don't know, maybe I don't always come across in the right way, I don't know. It's definitely something I've been trying to work on and the such, but I don't know. He then talked about a comment that he left on my video saying that I don't deserve the subscribers that I have.
First of all, my comment was out of line. To imply that, or not to imply, I just said it, to say that somebody doesn't deserve their subscribers for the channel that they've uploaded tons of videos to and have run for maybe years, I don't know, is just wrong. That would be the same as if someone said, I don't deserve subscribers because of the ugly video I made yesterday. I think I would be very upset if someone said that to me. So her response of, okay, hun, was perfectly fine.
Yeah, it kind of sucked reading that, I'm not gonna lie. But then again, I probably did deserve that comment, because in my opinion, when you have a platform like I do, it's not like the biggest or anything like that, like it's not a huge deal, but everyone that watches my videos and everyone that subscribes to me does mean a lot to me, because again, this is an honor to do this, and it's an honor to have a platform, and you should never abuse it or take it for advantage or anything like that. And that's maybe how it come across when I did the Blake video. Like, maybe looked like I didn't care as much, or that I was I don't know. I definitely deserve to be called out. I definitely deserve the backlash that I got from what he did. There's nothing here to defend me. I'm not going to sit here and be like, well, you know, we're all human, we make mistakes, but like D'Angelo said, I am 30, I should have known better.
Ultimately, with no strings attached, Lauren and all of the people in the comment section who felt like I was talking to them, I'm sorry. I hope you forgive me. And
I forgive him. He didn't have to apologise. So that's just how I feel about it. He didn't have to apologise, but he did, and I'm thankful again that he did. I'm repeating myself. And I accept it. I did comment on his video and stuff, and I was like, it's okay. It's just one of those things. And what he was doing, he was standing up for someone, and he thought he was in the right for doing so, and yeah, cool, I'm fine with that. And he called me out on my bullshit, and I encourage people to call me out on my bullshit, because that's the only way we learn as humans. Like, I clearly, obviously, when I was making this video, didn't realise what I was doing was so wrong. Obviously now I do, and if people had just kind of left me to it, I might have just continued to be acting that way. So when someone calls you out, it does you good. Obviously I shouldn't have to have someone call me out, but I don't know what I'm saying. Can't be mad at him as a whole. He seems like a really sweet, nice person and a genuine person. I don't know if this video is going to come across the right way. The only thing I request and ask out of this whole thing is just like, don't tell me to kill myself. Like, that's not fun to read. Because I'd never put that energy out to anybody ever. Yeah, I don't know. That's the only thing I ask from this. You can call me out on anything else, just like that's just too far for me personally. I don't know. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna go. Thank you for listening. I'm not asking for forgiveness from D'Angelo or Blake at all. They don't need to forgive me, or they don't need to address this video or anything. Like, I'm not asking for that. I kind of just wanted to put my side of the story out. I'm not asking for forgiveness or for everyone to be like, oh well, she's an okay person now, I guess. Like, I'm not asking for that. I just wanted to put my side out. And that's it. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna go now. Bye.